Hi, I'm James from Solihull Music Service, and today we're going to tackle part 2 of my left foot hi-hat control sheet. This sheet's divided into two parts. The left side of the sheet is going to be getting your left foot working to a quarter note pulse. This is really good to work on your inner metronome, your coordination, and to add just extra sound to any of your beats. The right side of the sheet is all about offbeats, so that's eighth note offbeats. Can be really good to add a bit of syncopation to your beats, a bit of a Latin feel, and again work on your coordination. So we'll get started with pattern 1. You'll notice all the left side of the sheet then we're going to be keeping this left foot pulse like this going throughout our beats. I find this personally can be really good if you're working to a click or a metronome. It means you can sync your left foot with the click, and then in turn your playing is all going to be synchronized to your own left foot throughout. So even when you're not playing to a click, you can sort of feel like you've got that click track synchronization. So we're going to start with exercise 1. Left side of the sheet first. We're going to be playing the ride cymbal on eighth notes and quarter notes on the left foot. Here goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you find the keeping that left foot pulse quite tricky to start with, can be a good idea to just practice keeping the pulse with the left foot, maybe working both feet together. That's particularly good for beat 2 or exercise 2. You can then add the snare drum and add the ride. So that was pattern 2. Here it goes again. I'll add a few crashes. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving on to exercise 3, we're going to add 2 bass drums. So 2 bass drums leading up to the snare, giving you a bit of a wheel rock kind of sound, still keeping that left foot pulse going. This can be a bit trickier. Sometimes you've got to work on your feet coordination, so working on 2 right foot to 1 left foot. Again, if you were left-handed and playing the kit reversed, you just reverse everything. But yeah, working on 2 bass drums to 1 hi-hat, just like that, and then followed by a hi-hat. That sort of thing. So here we go with the beat. Okay, moving on to pattern 4, another typical rock beat. This one goes like this: 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Hopefully you guys can hear my left foot. You might be able to hear the hi-hat pedal clanging on this electric kit. But if not, you can hopefully watch this rod and you can see that pulse. Yeah, just about see it on the camera. So yeah, beat 4 again. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Moving along to 5. Think of this as beat 1 with an extra bass drum on the end, on the and. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Moving on to pattern 6, so exercise 6, typical boom da boom boom da. Who knows what that's called, but it's exercise 6 on this sheet. On to exercise 7. This one's got a little bit more space, can be a little bit trickier on the coordination. 1, 2, left foot bass snare. 1, 2, left bass snare. So that's pattern 7. And then moving on to pattern 8, goes like this. That one is the hardest. Takes a little bit more coordination. So your feet are coming down together to start with. You've then got the left foot with the snare, bass drum on its own, left foot on its own, right foot on its own, left foot and left hand together, and obviously the ride's going all the way through it. So if I just focus on the feet to start with, add the snare, you might want to practice something like this for a while just to build up that coordination and confidence with the pattern. Add the ride when you feel confident. Okay, now moving on to the right side of the sheet, which is all about the offbeats. So this one, really good starting position for this one, is just to get your feet used to doing opposites. Start with your bass drum foot, then onto your left foot and alternate. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And again, you could build it up. Bass, left, snare, left, bass, left, snare, left, bass, left, snare, left. Add the ride. On to pattern 2, exercise 2. Same thing, but we've got the 4 on the floor pattern, typical 4 on the floor pattern. Probably the easiest one, I think. So this one, your feet the pattern would be bass, right, together, right, or bass, right. Like this, constantly changing. So we're going to go like this. On to pattern 3, which is more of your wheel rocky kind of thing. So you're playing on the left foot hi-hat on the second of the 2 bass drums. Went wrong there. On to pattern 4. This one can be a little bit tricky. So coordination wise, we're going to go bass, left, snare, bass and left foot, followed by the bass on its own. Add the right hand on the ride. As with the previous exercise, when you get to pattern 5, this is the same coordination as exercise 4, just at the end of the bar instead of in the middle of the bar, if that makes sense. So we're going to go and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So moving on to pattern 6. And on to pattern 7. If you're going to take away one of the bass drums from pattern 6 to leave that little bit more space in the middle, you get pattern 7. A little bit trickier again with this one, but it's fine as soon as you get used to it. If we were to start with just the feet, so bass left, snare left, together left, snare left, together snare left, bass left, snare left, together snare left. Add the ride. And finally pattern 8, which is the trickiest pattern, to just work on the feet pattern first. You've got to remember both of those bass drums in the middle of the pattern are synchronized with the left foot. So bass, left, snare, together, snare, left. And that's with the together being the bass and the hi-hat to avoid confusion. So with the ride. Okay, so that completes the lesson. They're the different patterns. These can be really good as well if you wanted to use your left foot on, say, a cowbell. A lot of people have the suspended tambourines on top of the hi-hat. That can be really good. So if you're playing something on the ride, you can add a quarter note pulse or an offbeat eighth note pulse with the hi-hat doing that. Loads of different options. Also, if you are thinking about double bass drum pedal, if you want to do a left foot lead, these patterns can be particularly good as well. So yeah, I'll leave you with that, and good luck, and see you in the next lesson.